Hello, everyone. This is Eric Lima, New Bedford's resident CHP, Crazy Half Portuguese. You are watching another video episode coming in from between EML-TV TV, an episode a season I just completed with 1,000 episodes a couple of weeks ago before Thanksgiving. But now I'm bridging. This is bridging to the new season, which I call WEML-TV, Channel 77, the YouTube station identification of yours truly. This is the Bridge Up, and this is the 27th episode of the Bridge Up, and it's December 7th, 2020, 4:58 p.m. What's going on, everybody? This is very big, and huge opportunity. Say that Christmas is only 18 days away. Would you believe that? And only 24 days left of this tumultuous year for a lot of folks out there. So, how was my weekend? First of all, I'm glad you asked. Just again, I know you guys are curious about how my weekend went. Well, as you know, I have bought something to help me reorganize my room, and it has been complete. My tree is up. You guys saw that. You guys saw my new thing and everything else. And not only that, my power went out for an hour and a half this past Saturday night. It's a good thing I had everything all settled up and ready to go. You see, I had a hunch that I would get this thing done in no time flat. It was just a beautiful thing, and that's what happened. So that's the good news. The good news is I had everything done, no time flat. Yeah, so I played goldfish with my sisters during the power outage. We had a humongous storm, and it wasn't snowy here in New Bedford, but I think other parts of Massachusetts, if you north and west of us, you probably got much snow, but not as much as we didn't get as much as we got up there, but it was safe enough for me not to be called into work that Saturday, so it was a good thing. But our power went out for, like I said, it went out at 6:30, hour and a half. Around 8 o'clock, it came back on. Thank God about that. So I was kind of hoping in the back of my mind too that I was going to not have any power until Sunday morning. We did not have church Sunday morning. I cannot disclose why. Let's just say that. Let's just say for all intents and purposes, we're trying to be very, very cautious and err on the side of precaution. I don't want to, I don't want anybody flipping out and freaking out. I'm fine, and no problems there. And watched tribute to the troops in WarGames last night. Also watched the New England Patriots completely mollywop the the Los Angeles Chargers, as they call themselves now, not the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, by the score of 45-0. I mean, I didn't know the Chargers moved to Los Angeles. What are they known as? What are they known as, Los Angeles Chargers? I know it's Los Angeles Rams, the Los Angeles Raiders, but whatever. We got the Las Vegas Raiders now, which beat the Jets. The Jets are 0-12, and one person on the WKPH Discord server says, "I hope they lose to the Jets. That would please me." He said, "If you think if they blew a lead against the Raiders, what chance do you think they're gonna beat the Patriots? Come on, seriously. I mean." And then my boss Everett had a point. Says, "Oh, they were a young team. They only won 2 games. Not as bad as the Jets. They're 0-12. So it's like, they could have had their first upset, but that's all right." So anyway, the Patriots are 6-6. If they win out the rest of the season, they might go to the playoffs as a wild card. So, I may be excited about that, but it'll be very interesting to see how. The Patriots are used to the playoffs, but Cam Newton, we'll see what he can do if we get there. All right. As you know, tribute to the troops happened early in the afternoon because of WarGames. Happened later on that night, last night. So I figured, well, why not bring in tribute to the troops 2020, And 10-man tag. It kicked off with a 10-man tag. Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, and the Street Profits versus King Corbin, Elias, the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, and the tag team of Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, a.k.a. the Dirty Dogs, as like calling themselves. When you have a team that has Mysterio, Hardy, and Montez Ford on the same team, three of the biggest high flyers ever on that team, everybody just went completely nuts. It was a Donnybrook, a brouhaha, and something that the troops love. And you're talking about entertaining to the troops, but in the end, Daniel Bryan's team won it. And then, and then there's a musical performance by a country singer by the name of Hardy. It ain't the same Jeff Hardy. It ain't Matt Hardy. It's just a guy named Hardy, which I never heard. I've never been a big country music fan. I'll be totally honest with you. But this Hardy person is good on the mic as far as singing. They did a Lacey Evans push-up challenge. Lacey Evans, good lord, if she wasn't married. Nah, I'm not gonna think about it. I'm not gonna think about that. She is a very beautiful young lady, no doubt, and knows how to be like a lady. Sometimes, yeah, I'd be considered a nasty. As if I'm considered a nasty, and my knobs are sags, nasty boys, get it? Anyways, all right. Now back. Speaking of the ladies, they had a tag match. A lot of people consider this a dream team. Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair to go against Bayley and Natalya. Bayley and Natalya had their problems as of late with each other, and it looks like Bianca Belair is the center of it. But Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair did pick up the victory over Bayley and Natalya in a high-spirited contest. And then you got McIntyre versus The Miz, and John Morrison's antics got them busted by the referee, Jessica Carr. But in the end, Drew McIntyre and capitalizing with the Claymore, McIntyre ends up picking the victory. Now, I'm surprised that Miz did not cash in his money in the bank. That would be fun, but they decided not to do that. They're entertaining to the troops, and that's what that matters to them. All the troops were watching on the Thunderdome, which I think was pretty cool. Some of the superstars like Lacey Evans, Drew McIntyre, Miz, and Maurice. I think I mentioned The Undertaker. They all, and AJ Styles, all surprised. Troops all over, with Zoom calls and all that, which I think is very, very cool to talk to them individually, and all. Montez Ford and Bianca Belair's, it's always been just as JBL's vision. JBL was the one that did this, and you know what? I've always got a lot of respect for John Bradshaw Layfield standing up for our troops, and showing them love. And so JBL, thank you so much, and for doing this for our troops. I know, it's totally awesome to see that happen. All right, let's get to the point. Let's get to the fun stuff, and that is WarGames. I've always wanted to say that. I did my WarGames introduction, so to speak, on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I got a shout out I got a bravo from Mackenzie Mitchell. I got a good stuff Eric from Josiah Williams. Alicia Taylor liked it, and Josiah Williams retweeted it too. It was really, really cool. They asked us to do an introduction of WarGames, so I think it's really cool just to do that. I want to thank those guys, and I said it's an honor to do it for you guys. It's pretty cool. Alrighty, all right. I'm just going to move some stuff here. All right, here we go. The Women's WarGames match did kick off NXT TakeOver WarGames. Team Shotzi has won the advantage. To lead it off, it was Dakota Kai and Ember Moon to start things off. The two went at it, and then the second entrant is Shotzi Blackheart, who started throwing in a toolbox and some weapons. And then the third entrant came in to even the score would be Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez has been a dominant factor in the matchup, and a little bit more on that. They're still fighting it out, and then Rhea Ripley was the fourth entrant coming in. She starts getting tables, chairs, and all that crazy stuff. And then Gonzalez and Ripley went at it. Everybody went at it. It was a crazy thing. WarGames was even crazy. And then the fifth entrant was Toni Storm, the Mae Young Classic winner of 2018, former NXT UK Women's Champion. She came in and did her thing. So that left that left Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, the final two. And then the sixth entrant came in Io Shirai. Io Shirai decided to put some chairs and all that, but then Raquel Gonzalez, they had a strategy, but they failed. The thing is that Team LeRae failed to realize that the match officially starts when all 8 competitors are in the match. They didn't get that concept. So I was like, so Raquel, but the strategy was to wear out the other team. So, which is their strategy going in, but they can't pin anybody until all 8 competitors in there. Io Shirai was throwing in weapons and ladders and all that, and then Raquel Gonzalez pushed her out as she was coming in, and then closed the lid. But the referee's like, "Hey, what are you doing? She has to go in there." And then they're still brawling, dominating, and then Candice LeRae came in, and then it was a 4-on-3 situation because they kept on kicking. Every time Io tried to get in, Raquel Gonzalez has her kicked out once again. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? They have to have the match can't start until I have all 8 women in there. Right, they're all brawling. They tried to make a pin on Ember Moon or Shotzi Black, and all of a sudden they're like, "What do you mean, ref?" And no, I can't. I'm not making the count because all 8 women have to be in the matchup. Like, what do you mean? If I was a referee, I would have done the same thing. I said, the rules state all 8 women in the matchup. You keep kicking Io Shirai out. She has yet to be in this matchup. I'm not making the pinfall. I would have said right there, rules are rules. You don't like it? You can get out of here and forfeit the match to your team. That's what I would have said. The strategy is good, but you have to let all 80s. That's the way to do it. And they don't, it's like, it was great strategy, ladies, but the problem is war game rules. All 8 women have to be in the matchup. And I'm like, is Candice LeRae having a blonde moment? Because she used to be blonde, so I was like, Candice is not how War Games works, girl. So anyways, but then Io Shirai always does something crazy. This woman is like the Japanese version, Japanese Joshi version of Jeff Hardy. I'm telling you, without all the outside the ring problems, but as far as skill, high flying is concerned, she reminds me a lot of Jeff Hardy when in the ring. When it comes to in-ring skills, and she will take risks, she'll take chances. She climbs up and has a trash can. Climbs up with one end, trash can the other. She's off the cage, and she's holding the trash can over her head, puts it on herself, and flew over the cage. I'm like, what crazy things this woman does? I was like, I can imagine her fiance Evil going, ay, ay, ay. I can see him going, ah. I can imagine him flipping out. Be like, baby, what are you doing? Like, what is, man, my heart goes out to that, to Takaki Watanabe, who was known as Evil in New Japan, pro wrestler. His name is Evil, believe it or not. And I'm like, I feel for him. He probably going, ay, ay, ay. He probably wake up in the morning and see his fiance fly out the top of the cage with a trash can over her head. Yeah, I'm sure he probably in the back of his mind goes, "Yep, I'm marrying that woman." I can feel for Evil on that one. I'm like, good Lord. Anyways, it was a crazy matchup, but despite all that, Candice LeRae's team won the matchup when Raquel Gonzalez one-arm powerbomb Io Shirai through a ladder, pinned her. Hopefully Io will be okay. She says she's alive, she's okay, she's resting up. She's posted pictures of herself resting up with her kitty and all that good stuff. So, I'll get well, Io. And she is the NXT Women's Champion. So Raquel Gonzalez, by pinning Io, could be in the line for an NXT Women's title shot. It'll be something to... and I think her father came by to watch the match, too. So that could be a lot on Raquel Gonzalez. So congratulations to Team LeRae in winning the matchup. I did pick Team Shotzi to win it because the 3 of the 4 women are former NXT or current NXT Women's Champions. But that did not happen, so I got one wrong. Tommaso Ciampa versus Timothy Thatcher was a pretty good matchup, to say the least. Did not steal the show, though. But I think to me, the women's matchup stole the show. But in the end, I did predict that. I did predict that Tommaso Ciampa would win the matchup, and he did. And so another matchup, the strap match between Dexter Lumis and Cameron Grimes, and the referee, the zombie, who is just a zombie, he's calling it's a strap, a strap, but Cameron Grimes insisted using his strap. I said, okay. So the match would end up in pinfall or submission. And the two went back and forth. You know, Cameron Grimes got his shots in against against Dexter Loomis, and Dexter Loomis, man, let me tell you, that cat's out there, man. He is out there. But you know, Dexter Loomis, you know, just rises up, hits the silencer on Cameron Grimes. Loomis, I did predict that Loomis will pick up the victory over Cameron Grimes, and so I am 2-1. And in fact, 4 out of 5. I did 4 out of 5 predictions, if I'm right. The only one I got wrong was the women's War Games match, but all the others, all the others I got, because Leon Ruff defending the North American title against Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano in a triple threat. The big story was all the ghost faces that were surrounding the ring. They were attacking Damian Priest. Everybody's making retribution jokes about him on Twitter and whatnot. It is a crazy thing, and to say the least. And but in the end, though, hold up. In the end, though, hold up, just a second here. There we go. And but in the end, though, after all that, the last ghost face, it was 6 ghost faces outside the ring. Damian Priest took out all 6 of them. 3 on one side, 3 on the other. But then the 7th ghost face had a lead pipe, bashed Damian Priest, and Johnny Gargano took advantage of that, pinned him, and we have a new North American champion. But that last ghost face with the pipe took off the mask. It was Austin Theory. I called it. I said to myself, watch, that would be Austin Theory, because somehow Austin Theory says he would quit, but Johnny Gargano will probably convince him otherwise, and I was right. It was Austin Theory. So Austin Theory's back, and so with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell, this will be a very interesting situation, to say the least. And then then the lights were flickering on and off. It was interrupted by a clock, tick-tock, and a vulture standing at the WarGames ring entrance. And I'm going, and then it says tick-tock, and it was only one guest. Karrion Kross is on his way back to NXT. So it'd be very interesting that Finn Balor better be paying close attention, because I'm sure Kross will probably want that NXT Championship belt back. And so, and speaking of Finn Balor, he says all eyes will be on the Prince. He'll be back this Wednesday on NXT, the NXT champion. So this will be very interesting, to say the least. Then after that, the men's War Games matchup with Team McAfee with the man advantage. Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne kicked it off. They're brawling each other. Lorcan comes in. They're brawling each other. And then Fish comes in to even up, and then Danny Burch came in, and then Roderick Strong came in, Pat McAfee, and Adam Cole was the last entrant in. All they were brawling back and forth, but and the crazy part was McAfee did a swanton off the top of the cage. What's McAfee think he is? Jeff Hardy? Dude, watched him on, and he came in with the freaking neck brace on. Is he gonna milk that thing like Andy Kaufman did? We'll find out on this Wednesday on NXT. But in the end, the Undisputed Era did win the War Games matchup. Where they go from here, we don't know. So I am just totally stoked about that. So, let's see. Yeah, that's all. That's all the time we have on the show. NXT War Games, Takeover War Games, and Tribute to the Troops recap by yours truly. Episode 27 of The Bridge Up is complete. As you know, 18 days away till Christmas. Get your shopping done. Stay safe out there. If you're somewhere else somewhere else and there's a storm in your area, please be careful. Okay. I don't think we're having any storms anytime soon. We're going to get rain over the weekend again this coming Saturday, but it's going to be in the 50s this time, so it'll be too warm for the white stuff to come out. And I'm sure then Raw's the only brand left to do a Pat Patterson tribute, and they're probably going to do that tonight. Because I know NXT and SmackDown got it covered. I don't know if they're doing it on Raw. We'll find out for sure. So that's it. That's all the time we have. I'll see you guys later. Peace, God bless, and see you on episode number 28 of The Bridge Up. God bless. Have a great, wonderful night.